And we have one more question that came in from Europe, and this is from a gentleman named Claudio Giudici, who's becoming very well known right now. He's the leader of a taxi union in Florence, Italy, and he's also an activist with the Movimento Solidarietà di Diritti Civili, the Movisol, our organization in Italy. And he's currently leading a national strike against the financial dictator Mario Monti and his policies of liberalization and austerity. Giudici, as people might know if you've been watching this website, has grabbed national headlines. He's been interviewed on several national television networks, and he's currently escalating his fight with prominent calls for Glass-Steagall and the policies of Mr. LaRouche. So here's his question. He says, "Dear Mr. LaRouche, one of the false myths pushed by economists is competition. Using linear approaches, which are easily understood by many, we can say that competition is not the only issue to be addressed, but only one among several issues, including, for instance, protection and promotion of quality, labor rights like minimum wage, protections introduced by civilized society for workers, efficiency, and others." He refers to a papal encyclical by Pope Pius XI. He says, "The social doctrine of the Church deals with the question of the failure of approaches that are centered around competition only. In paragraph 108 of Quadragesimo Anno, Pope Pius XI describes hyper-competition as a sort of virus that first leads to the creation of oligopolies, then to domination of economic powers on politics, and ultimately to conflict among states." Claudio says, "These descriptions are important because they help to understand the process as a sequence. However, I wonder whether the issue could be dealt with from a higher standpoint, not just a sequence, but a unity, an unicum," he says. And he uses an interesting analogy. Not so much like a Gothic church, but rather like the Florence Dome Cathedral. Thank you, Claudio Giudici.
Well, the point is to change the subject entirely. That the question is the progress of mankind, the ability of mankind to survive. Now, the beacon today for that is Mars. That mankind must be developed so that mankind has the power to reach Mars and to develop it, and to develop the larger parts of the solar system. Now, that's it. So it's that kind of purpose, not some kind of thing of some individual with his little scheme someplace. And they usually cheat a lot. And somebody who buys these things usually thinks so. So the point is, that's the point. It's the increase of the productive power of labor through the development of the intellectual powers of the mind, which is the vital interest. And it's that must be the test of what is right and what is wrong. That which promotes an improvement in the productive powers of labor to do the human good. That's the good. That's the good. And whether something is more liked or disliked or so forth is irrelevant. It's garbage. And mostly, usually involves cheating. And you find a lot of the people in the Republican Party are very good at that. The Democrats don't like to admit it, but they're also a little bit sloppy at it, but they do it too. And we can do without that stuff.